Hey guys, it's Clint Pascal, lead pastor of the Waters Church, and this is the Bible Together. So it's Saturday. A lot of people call this Holy Saturday. This is a sobering day in the Christian faith. It's the one day, full 24-hour period of time when Jesus was dead. He was in the grave on Friday, came back to life on Easter morning. But we're not talking about those days. Saturday. The one full day that he's gone. So what does the Bible actually tell us about this moment in time? We have some hints. So I want to read something to you out of John 19. Now, John 19 chronicles still late Friday night, but this leads up to Saturday. There's an interesting thing that happens. Okay, so we're late on Friday after the crucifixion, building up into Saturday, that darkest day where he's dead the whole day. But you see how this moment is still bringing up faith in people that you hadn't known about really that deeply before. So John 19, verse 38, after all this, Joseph of Arimathea, now this was a follower of Jesus, guys. He was a rich follower of Jesus, but listen to this detail. A disciple who kept his faith a secret for fear the Jewish officials. So this was a follower that loved Jesus, that believed in him. But man, he did not let that out because of the Jewish officials and how they could persecute him and possibly even take his life. So this guy, he makes a request to Pilate, Roman authority, for the body of Jesus. Pilate granted his request and Joseph retrieved the body. That's the first one. Now you have Nicodemus. Nicodemus, who first came to Jesus under the cloak of darkness, brought over 100 pounds of myrrh and ointments for his burial. Wow, Nicodemus. This is a Sanhedrin member, Pharisee. He also believes in Jesus. He also is a follower, and he had kept his belief in Jesus a secret. Joseph of Arimathea, Nicodemus the Pharisee, and in verse 40 it says, together, that's awesome, together they took Jesus' body and wrapped him in linens soaked in essential oils and spices according to the Jewish burial customs. That is your Jesus, his body taken, wrapped in linens, and soaked in preparation oils. Near the place he was crucified, there was a garden with a newly prepared tomb. Because it was the day of preparation, they arranged to lay Jesus in this tomb so they could rest on the Sabbath. All right, so that's building up to Saturday. Now check this out. I want to read to you, this is Matthew chapter 27. This is where you start seeing some real fear out of the actual Pharisees. So I want to read this to you. Matthew 27, starting in verse 62. The next day, now we're at Saturday, which is the day after the preparation day, the chief priests and the Pharisees went together to Pilate. Who else also just went to Pilate? That would be Joseph of Arimathea and Nicodemus. Pilate's very busy. It's a very busy time for Pilate. Bless that guy's heart. Verse 63, they reminded him that when Jesus was alive, he had claimed that he would be raised from the dead after 3 days. So they said, so please order someone to secure the tomb for at least 3 days. Otherwise, his disciples might sneak in and steal his body away. And then claim that he had risen from the dead. If that happens, then we would have been better off just leaving him alive. Verse 65, Pilate says, you have a guard. Go and secure the grave. So they went to the tomb, sealed the stone in its mouth, and left the guards to keep watch. That's Saturday, and that's some of the biblical detail. That's the most of what we have on this Saturday. But remember, guys, remember the huddled, fearful, frightened disciples that are together in fear of what's going to happen next. And that's their Saturday experience. Little did they know what was going to happen just a few hours the next morning. They had no idea that it was going to happen, and you can tell that by their response. But Easter is just hours away. But we must never forget the plight of these precious disciples that are hunkered down together and are fearful what is going to happen to us. And then Jesus happened to them. Easter resurrection happened. And nothing's ever been the same since. So on this Saturday, think about what you would have felt like and consider the implications of Jesus lying in a tomb all day long. That's your Jesus who suffered yesterday and today is at a peaceful rest in death for you. And tomorrow the Holy Spirit wakes him up on Easter Resurrection Sunday. It's an amazing story. It's so incredible. Our Jesus is amazing, and he's worthy of our praise and worthy of our worship. Jesus, thank you so much for what you've done for us. Thank you for the suffering. Thank you for giving us your life. We receive that, and we're just so proud to give you praise and so proud to love you and be called Christians. Gosh, it's so amazing. So happy Easter weekend, you guys. I hope tomorrow was a wonderful, glorious experience for you individually, for you and your families and your relationships. We got a lot to celebrate as Christians. Hey guys, thanks so much for doing the Bible together. Let's keep on making Jesus famous.